Hey everybody, my next guest is a country rapper from Memphis, Tennessee, whose rhyme style is off the chain. Here he is, folks, the one and only Papa Fresh. Papa, how you doing, brother?
What's good? What's good?
How you doing, man? You keeping busy over there?
Man, trying to if I cut my phone off, it'd be a whole lot better. I can tell you that.
I hear you, man. Everybody's calling. You must be getting in some demand now, man. Like blowing up in the country scene, producing all that stuff.
Yeah, hey, I got a lot of people getting at me, more than I can handle. Be honest with you right now, but I'm gonna have to probably either raise my prices or just stop replying.
Hey, it's good to be in demand, and yeah, man, because I'm loving what you're doing. That
Yes, sir.
compilation track, you know, Fresh MC Round One. My boy Decon Blue in there. You got Rex, Scram, Mr. 359. Yourself killed it in that piece. Tell me about all this you got going on. This whole scene seems to really be bubbling right now.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it kind of happened by accident. It was one of them things where I've always made music. I've always produced, even though I might not have been out in front of everybody. I wasn't on social media. I always produced for people and released music under a lot of aliases that most people don't know about. I might let them know one day, but it kind of happened accidentally, man. I let an old friend hear a couple beats, and he ended up writing to a couple of them and told me I need to get on them. And I never wanted to really get back on the mic and be like, you know, in front of everybody's face, but it kind of happened, and it's fun. And that's the main thing. It's fun. And after a couple of years of that, I decided to kind of just do my own thing and do what felt good, do what was fun first and foremost.
Yeah, right on. It is definitely all about the fun, especially when you're creating just anything creative. If you're not enjoying it, you can't expect other people to. You know what I'm saying? And
20 years, man, I'm rocking 30 plus. Been about to be a long time. Gray hair, cuz. More hair on my tennis, and on my head, man. Pass the road, gang.
so tell me now, because like, were you always a hip hop head? Is this, you know, do you just kind of fall into it? Like, were you always making beats, like as a, you know, in high school and that sort of thing?
I'm gonna tell you, it started for me as a fan of hip hop. You know, probably around 9, 10 years old when I bought my very first record. It was a 45 of Rapper's Delight. And, you know, I remember to this day that picture is ingrained in my brain, where I went to the record store and bought that 45. I still got that 45.
Nice, man. Sugar Hill Gang.
So it started as just a love of hip hop. I didn't know what it was. I just knew I loved it, and collecting records. And, you know, that morphed into buying turntables, mixer, trying to figure out how to mix, you know, and I just did DJ at first. First and foremost, DJ is my heart. That's my roots. That's where I come from. Spent many years in high school, middle school, making mixtapes, DJing. At a very young age, in early high school, started getting opportunities to open up for like major concerts in around Jackson, Tennessee. And man, was just exposed to all of the legends like Ice-T, you know, Eazy-E, NWA before they actually formed.
So you were opening up for these guys back then?
Now, here I am in high school, late high school, about to graduate, 17, 18, 19. We didn't have no music out. You know what I mean?
Right.
We were playing instrumentals off of records. I was the DJ, and one of my longtime friends, Radio Rashid, was the MC, the rapper, the singer. So for us to be able to be out there, they were probably looking at us like, man, these dudes is corny. But we didn't care. We were having a ball, man.
You're having a ball, and here comes some of the biggest names in hip hop coming through the town. You guys get to open up for them, rock the house. Did you ever interact with any of those guys?
I did a little bit backstage, not a lot. I never was the type to be like fanboy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Running up and, in hindsight, I wish I probably would have took my Polaroid camera. This was in the day where you hit the button and the little thing come out the camera. Took it. Oh, there's my picture. I would have had to have that, which we had one, but I would have had a whole lot of pictures, bro, if I would have did that in hindsight. But I didn't. I loved hip hop. I wanted to do this. And that morphed into being able to try to figure out, how do these dudes on this record, how do they make these sounds? And I started trying to figure out, what equipment do I need to make these sounds? And you start researching drum machines. Now, when I say research, you had to just go to the music store.
Yeah, there wasn't no internet back then. You couldn't just Google it. Yeah.
If you found a book in a store about hip hop or breakdancing or whatever, really didn't really know until the movies started coming out, like Beat Street, Love Street, Breaking. So you would see these pictures and these guys on stage. And again, me being at the shows, really the only thing you saw was a DJ rocking the turntables. You didn't see really no equipment. You know what I mean? Right.
Well, let me just ask you real quick. When you were growing up in your neighborhood, was it diverse, or was it, were you the only kid in town listening to hip hop, or was it a diverse, because I'm from a diverse neighborhood, so I grew up all around hip hop. Like EPMD I went to high school with them, Craig Mack and all those guys. But hearing your story, and how it seems like we had the same story, kind of like you grew up with it, loving it. But I'm just wondering, with you, was it all around you, or were you the only kid around?
I'm gonna tell you, it didn't make sense for me to get into it the way I did, because I'm from a small itty bitty country town where there's no red lights. Still ain't no red lights.
Right.
So my parents probably thought I was nuts, because here this dude. I mean, when I say that, I mean, I was the dude that in the 8th and 9th grade, we were dragging cardboard around the neighborhood. Now, when I say neighborhood, it's just one block.
Right.
That was the neighborhood, And now, I had a friend in high school I think in like the 9th grade. His mom was from New York, but he lived down here and went to school in Tennessee. So every summer he would go to New York. Well, in the 9th grade, I'm like 14. He brings back this tape. It's a mixtape he recorded live off the radio, and it's got records on there like Rakim, Eric B. and Rakim, Make Them Clap to This, and it's some of that era of music. And I was like, oh,
golden age, yeah.
Let me borrow this tape. I got to dub it. So I'm trying to figure out how to mix. At that time, I already had my turntables. By the time I was in like the 8th grade, I had bought my first set of turntables. They weren't the 1200s yet, but got to start something.
Yeah.
But it was just, I don't know. I can't really explain how it happened to me in a itty bitty small town, because I was known in high school, as the dude that made the mixtapes. I had all the music, because every dollar I made cutting yards, I'm going to the record store and I'm spending every dollar. I'm coming back with a stack of records every weekend.
Yeah, man. So you're learning the craft, the old school. You're going through the crates. You're buying records. You're discovering music on your own, because there's no like a lot of kids today don't understand. Discovering music back then wasn't like it is now. It's way, you had to put effort into it, and especially with you growing up in a small town. Were there any black kids in your town?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Now you gotta imagine that, this is a rural town, so um I'm a '60s baby, so I may be a little older than most, but um the schools had just been integrated probably in like 69, 70 in that area. So by the
Right. Yeah.
time kindergarten, thank God, the schools are integrated. So it wasn't no such a thing as this is my black friend. This is just my friend.
Right. Right on. Yeah.
So I grew up, thankfully, the good Lord gave me the good enough sense to know that, hey, friend's a friend. I don't care what color he is or where he's from. So
Truth. Truth.
I just, by 10 years old, when hip hop finally hit the airways for us, that was Rapper's Delight. That wasn't the first probably rap.
It was
That was
first recorded rap. Yeah. First rap on wax.
one that went national and got big and huge. It was the first one we heard because all you had was 3 channels on TV and you had radio. That was it.
Right. Right.
I said the hip hop, the hip me to the hip hop, you don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat.
But yeah, I just absorbed it, man. And by the time I probably hit 17, I had bought my first drum machine, which was a Korg Triple D1, which had like 10 sounds in it. What I was like, these ain't the sounds I'm hearing on the record.
Right. Right.
you know. So, but that kind of morphed into I gotta find the equipment that's gonna let me make a beat like Planet Rock or Eric B and Rakim. What is that? Now I had to figure out like, well, I need a sampler. Now I want to be able to take these sounds off this record and make my beat with this sound.
Right. Right.
Or it's just going to the record stores in Memphis and Jackson and Nashville and just asking questions like, I need to do this. And like, oh, you need a sampler. I'm like, what is that? And
So you were kind of self-taught, man.
yeah, go to the fullest. Nobody taught me nothing. And by the time I was probably 19, me and a couple of old friends got together, and I think we had an Alesis drum machine. At that time I'd finally got a Korg S3, and I had my Mirage sampler and Sonic Mirage, and we made a couple records. We rented studio time probably about 6-7 miles away. This old dude had a 16-track 1-inch studio, and
Damn.
I knew nothing about studio. All we had was 4-track cassettes,
Right.
old TV mixers that we found in a pawn shop somewhere that we just was piecing everything together.
Right. Yeah. Old school.
So we spent we paying this old dude $50 an hour, and I'm like 18, 19, and I just started asking questions. I was like, hey, what does this stuff cost, man? It's a lot of money right here, youngin. This is, I'm like, well, I said, well, what if I wanted to buy one of them and one of them? He said, well, I'll sell you my studio right now for $5,000. I said, I'll be right back. And I ran to the house and got my checkbook. Young folk don't know what a checkbook is.
It's true. Right? It's not Venmo.
I spent almost every dollar I had saved on that old dude's studio. I bought his 16-track 1-inch machine and his mixer and a couple of little processors, effects processors and stuff, reverb, whatever.
Yeah.
And I had my studio. Didn't know how to use it. He didn't. I just took it back, plugged it in. Found me with me and my old friend. He ended up finding a 1/2-inch 16-track. So he had a 16-track in one room. I had a 16-track in another room. We rented a building and started learning it.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah. So,
There's something special about that, dude. There's something very special and really grassroots about teaching yourself how to do something and doing it. And that your story is inspiring, man, because if you if you want to do something bad enough, you could figure it out. Because now, man, like, and I want to continue with your story, but just for people who are just watching this and learning who you are,
Right.
your production, dude, is freaking tight. I was been listening to a lot of your stuff, and you make some dope beats. Your production, everything is just super tight, man. I mean, you're
You're gonna do, edit up 3. Pow pow with the fresh MCs around 1. Hey, but I got about 100 more. Clown some about that licky in a strong flow. Hip hop, throw them M's up every day. Praise God with the rhyme, food on blade.
so
I appreciate
kudos. Yeah, man. I mean that. So yeah, kudos for that. But okay, so now you and your boy, you created the studio, you're just figuring it out.
Yeah.
How do you go from there to opening up for NWA? And take me to that little middle piece right there.
Well, that was what was crazy, was that had already happened. I was a DJ first before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were DJing. Yeah.
So the owner of the radio station down there was bringing in these shows, from some of everybody, from Zap to you had Rob Bass, rock, you had a couple of R&B groups. So he'd have some R&B shows, some rap shows, but he would always let us get up there and play around for about 15 minutes and do something.
That's awesome.
But I knew nothing about, I didn't really have the proper stuff equipment wise at that time to make beats. I didn't have a studio at the time. We had this 4-track cassette. We were renting studio at this old guy's place. And then so, a couple years went by after I got out of high school. And then that's when I started buying equipment and just teaching myself, looking at the book, trying to figure out, okay, how do I sample? How do I trigger it from this machine? So that just kind of kept morphing and morphing until I was able to, what really got the first record deal going was all that was happening. So this R&B group out of Jackson, Tennessee called Perfect Combination won some contest, and they were going to be able to open up for Naughty by Nature, DOS Effects. I told the story before.
Wow. Yeah. DOS Effects, Long Island dudes.
Yeah, two cities. Black Sheep was on that lineup, man. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's the good days of hip hop, man.
God, the best days. I miss it.
Yeah, me too, man.
Need to bring it back, and I'll bring it in shortly. I'll tell you a cool little story that you'll probably like. But so while we're there, this lady comes up to us. Hey, you need to call my dad. He's got a record label in New York that he would love to sing. She was talking about the R&B group singing. I'm the DJ. They're singing. We're opening up for this big tour, couple cities. Well, while we're there was a guy from Memphis. This comes to my Memphis connection. And he sends his demo in first because he's listening to the conversation. So by the time he sends it in, the old dude thinks this is the guy his daughter's talking about. He gets the record deal.
Oh, dude.
So, but he was about to get out the army, and I was like, hey, dude, you're in Memphis. I'm about an hour away. I'm still in my itty bitty small town. I said, come to the studio, man. Let's make some music. So all this kind of happened like that. We ended up reproducing that song that old guy liked. Got us both signed to a record deal in the Bronx. So then here I am in New York about 3 or 4 months later with a record deal. And I'm eating this up like, I remember as an itty bitty kid when I bought my first 45 record, Rapper's Delight. I remember telling my parents, I'm going to New York to make me a record one day. I thought the only place you could make hip hop was in New York.
Y'all know that's bull. When you step to the back, get that noise to the side. Kick it to the side, kick it to the side. People standing in the back, get that noise to the side. Kick it to the side, kick it to the side.
Turns out, 8-9 years later, I'm in the Bronx with my first record deal, and I'm like, wow, this is
What
cool.
year was this? What year were you in the Bronx and all that?
This was just like 92.
Nice, man. So 1992, you're in the Bronx. You got signed. So you're signed with the R&B group as with the DJ.
Ah, they wasn't an R&B group that got signed. It's the guy from Memphis, the rapper.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's you, but you're still the DJ. Who was the rapper?
I'm the DJ. He's the rapper. Yeah. His name was Lil Mac, and we signed a record deal, and it was more kind of Miami bass more than hip hop, but it wasn't super fast Miami bass. It was like mid tempo Miami bass, like 100. So it was different. It was our take on something that we didn't think nobody was doing. But we let the R&B group sing the hook on the song. So they snatched that old Souls record, that old song, Ain't No Woman Like the One I Got.
Oh, yeah.
We jacked that and had the singers do Ain't No Mac Like the Mac I Got,
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get sued for that, but we got sued for the 3 words I was scratching. Pump me up. Pump, pump, pump.
From Rob Bass or?
No.
Oh, that was from
the old Trouble Funk record. Pump,
pump. Yeah.
So we get sued for that. And it kind of left a sour taste in the people that were backing the label, and it fronted the money for us to shoot the video to, which I do have a video to that night. The video came out in 93. You
gotta send me that video so I can put it in here for sure.
It's on VHS tape. So
if you do ever want me to, I can convert it.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I got a whole setup here. I convert all VHS.
I would love to convert that to a digital because it's the only tape I know that exists.
Make a copy before you send it to me, though. Don't give me I don't want that responsibility.
I don't know how. I don't have.
Nobody has VCRs anymore.
I got one. Nobody has another one. But anyway, I never really took the business serious because I was just having fun. I just wanted to make dope music, dope records, rock the shows, and I did, and we did, but
dude, that must have been an exciting time, man. You're in the 90s, golden era hip hop. That's when like Biggie was just coming out, Tupac, like all that, Jay-Z was just popping, like all these guys are just starting to come up. You're in the Bronx where hip hop started,
right.
And here you are, the Southern kid, living out your dream, dude. It must have been crazy times, man.
It was. I loved it, man. My parents probably thought I was nuts because I'm still living at home, with them and spending every dollar I can on equipment, on records, on travel, and ain't making a dollar,
Right, yeah.
But a record deal back then, you had, I think our first record deal, we got 5%. Well, me and Mac had to split the 5%. So it's 2.5. And you never seen a dollar, man, because the video cost $25,000. Then they had to fly us to LA to shoot the video. So, man, you never recoup.
Yeah. They, I feel like they do that on purpose or something, like you're always owing them. Yeah. It takes a long time before you make the money. Yeah.
We didn't get no big advance, man. I think we got like $500 a piece or something, But me, it wasn't about the money, though. It was like, I'm doing something I love to do, But hindsight is, after doing that from high school till about probably 25-year-old, where we had already signed our second record deal with Ichiban Records by then.
Same group, the same two guys.
Me and Lil Mac. Lil Mac, DJ Trick. DJ Trick was my old name. I go by Papa Frisk now.
Okay, cool.
But I don't mind sharing that name because that was DJ Trick for a long, long time. But I realized then, man, this I ain't gonna be able to eat off this,
Right.
I'm 25. I done seen 2 record deals. I done did many, many shows. many miles. And I was like, I'd already met my wife. We've been married, be Lord willing, 25 years.
God bless, man.
I wanted to marry her, but I was broke. And so thank God I had a mother and father work hard. And I said, I got to go learn something so I can marry my wife and take care of us, you know. So real life knocked me over my head. Never stopped making music. Never stopped making music. Never will. Lord, you know, Lord willing.
Right on.
The country rap thing, I didn't know what country rap was. I'd never heard the term like that. I just knew hip hop, you know, that's all I knew, you know. And so they started tagging it, you know. I guess my beard's white. I'm an older looking dude. I'm a 60s baby. I guess we're country.
Is this whole country rap thing, it's relatively new, right? I mean, like, I know some of these dudes have been doing it for a while, but it's relatively, like, calling it country rap. It used to, you know, what I think it used to be called Southern rap. I'm not even sure, but now it feels like it's its own genre, and it's really like embraces, you know, that kind of Southern lifestyle that you know, a lot of us, you know, don't really know. Like a New York kid, I only know what I know by watching your videos. I'm like, damn, that looks awesome, man. Freaking driving around and, you know, the trikes or whatever, the quads, and you know, Papa Willie's going fishing and noodling and all that kind of stuff. And it just looks like a blast, man.
Yeah, I mean, it technically it don't exist to the majors, but it does. It's something we just kind of created. It kind of created its own in a way. And me, I'm kind of I'm a little different than a lot of folk. I grew up hardcore hip hop head and been in New York to LA to all over the place. But I'm from a small itty bitty country town. So I lived the life of rural life, fishing. You know, you didn't stay in the house. When the sun was up, you was outside doing something all day until it's dark. There wasn't nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So I know the country life. I knew my parents still live in the same town, same house I was born in. So I hip hop is my heart, though. It's like there's a difference, in my humble opinion, between rap and hip hop. There's a whole lot of rap. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but that's just my opinion. There's a whole lot of rap stuff, but when I think hip hop, it's only, you know, there's a group of folk, and mainly it happened back then. And now I'm not saying that there ain't hip hop artists out there. Are absolutely, but a lot of these guys that are rapping don't know nothing about hip hop.
Yes, I always think that some of these younger rappers should know the history. They should at least know, you know, what the origins of it, where it started from, and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, maybe you should watch Crush Groove or something, or just to see like who the Fat Boys are, LL Cool J. You should know, you know, who Cool Herc was. You should know like a lot where the roots are, especially now. It's going to be hip hop's 50th birthday. That's what's cool about this genre. It's got a birthday. It's in August.
Think about it. So in essence, you know, I don't know your age, but I'm thinking you're probably right around the same age. So me and you and Deacon and folk like that. And now I've been saying Deacon Blue. Are you telling me it's Deacon Blue?
No, it's Deacon Blue. I said it wrong. I even told him in the interview. I said I always say Deacon Blue for some reason. It's Deacon Blue.
Oh man, I was like, but
His name is Deacon Blue. I'm well above average. Some of you cats sound like 21 Savage.
Let me tell that story real quick, because when we accidentally kind of got absorbed into the country rap game, me and my old friend, we created West 10, which I don't do West 10 no more. I let that go. I did it a couple of years. I'm doing my own thing now. But I kept seeing this guy pop up, Deacon Blue. He'd be in the chat. And then he dropped a record. Downriver.
Yeah, good song.
And see, I'm a DJ, so I hear things different than most people. So I said, I love that record. I said, there's something about this Deacon. I knew nothing about him. I said, there's something about this Deacon Blue dude I like. That was the only thing I'd heard from him. But then he got in one of the contests, the little freestyle contest, and dropped bar. And I said, this dude ain't the average everyday rapper. Still didn't know. Well, when I connected with him, when I finally broke away from the West 10, I had this idea. I wanted to bring back the DJ element because I'm a DJ, which none of these dudes knew until recently when I got on the turntables and filmed me, scratching and mixing a little bit.
Yeah, man.
But I did this Fresh MC round 1, and I'm going to continue to drop them if I can find more time. I said, I got to get Deacon on there. Something about this dude, I just like how his flow is. It's different.
Talking about cash, and what you saying ain't worth coming at you. Oh man, I tell you out the frame, I respect myself, my wife, my kids. Say yo, there's always respect on my name.
Oh my God, y'all guys are not gonna believe. Probably within the last month, by the time I did the Fresh MC with Deacon Blue, Rex, Scram, and Mr. 359 and myself, me and Deacon connected from that record. And man, when I tell you we got some hip hop joints that these folks is gonna bug out. I'm loving it. I've had more fun in the last month bouncing ideas with Deacon and beats. And then to find out that he's on the MPC making beats. He ain't told none of these dudes what he's. I know some stuff. Deacon is a beast.
And also, geez, we don't need to be scripted, we grown. And what we are is known, plus we just move different. Country rap is crap, I don't know about all that. Pop Fresh got an ill type of boom bap.
Yeah, man.
They're about to find out because me and Deacon has got like 3-4 records already that we like bouncing vocals back and forth. And
he was telling me, he was like, that's why I wanted to connect with you because I already knew about you because I talked to Deacon Blue and he told me about, you got to check out Papa Fresh. He's sick. And then I started watching his stuff and I'm like, damn, this dude could rhyme. And then he's like, yeah, he produced all his own beats. And I was like, what the? So yeah, I was get totally into it. And then he started telling me about that you and him are collabing on a lot of stuff. And he goes, dude, wait till you hear this shit. This is some dope shit, man. He's like, he feels the same way. I think like he's completely excited. And I think he's having some of the most fun he's ever had in his career. I known him way back about 25 years or so. I used to have a radio show back in the day. He used to come on all the time. And so he's a good dude, man, and great MC. And it's so cool to see that because of the way the world is with the internet and everything, to be able to connect, man. It's so sick because even that whole collab with all those other guys, they're all from all over, right? Like
all over the place. Nobody. I'm from Memphis. Another guy is like about an hour and a half away. Deacon's up there, up near New York. 359, I think, is from Alabama. Scram is in Nashville. So I've always been the type, and I've been blessed to like. I don't really try to reach out too much. It's just it kind of happens organically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
People pick up on what other people can do and their skills, whether it's MCing, or DJing, or beat making. And so I love collabing this year. But man, I'm telling you, country rap thing is cool. It's fun. It's easy. I do it. I do beats for a lot of people, but hip hop is my heart. DJ, MC, beat, digging in the crates. Most of these dudes don't know nothing about that I found. There's a small percentage, but Deacon know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he knows his shit. Yeah.
We speak the same language, man. When I tell you these records that me and Deacon are doing are so dope, but it's hip hop. It ain't the country rap, banjo, fiddle, No, I can do that too. I mean, you know, I call it, you know, music. I do all types of music, but hip hop is my heart.
Yeah, man.
And bro, we having so much fun. We just live too far away. We can't shoot no videos.
I know, dude. You got to figure that out, because I think the two of you guys too, the contrast with both of you guys, with just the look and all that, with both with the beards, and then you both could spit. Because a lot of people, you know, they wouldn't assume by looking at either of you guys that you could spit, that you could rhyme like that you could kill it. You know, I used to get that a lot from me, just because the way I just look like a regular white dude. No one ever suspects I could rhyme. But you know, you guys have that southern look with the beards and all that. I think that's a good hook, a good niche, where people are going to say what, and then they hear the music. Because what I was doing with you earlier was listening to the music. I was just like kind of closing my eyes and seeing if it would hold up without seeing you, without the visual. And dude, it's dope, man. You know, I love what you're doing. And then I think with the visual, that adds to it, because people are like, holy shit. Like at first you're like, look at this dude getting down, man, you know? And they don't always know your history, your past. You've been doing this shit for like, 30 years.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah. Most of these guys in the country rap world never knew of me, because I changed my name. I got older, I got gray, and I changed my name to Papa Fresh. And so they never knew who I was. And some still don't. Some still hadn't looked at none of the interviews and put it together, because I don't talk about that.
Right.
Not that I'm ashamed of it. It's just, you know, I did that. But it you know, that was always a shock value, even back then, because when I was in the Bronx recording in like 92, you know, I didn't see nobody like me.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying there wasn't white folk in the Bronx. There was. But when I was there recording, where we were staying in a high-rise apartment, a lot of Puerto Ricans, and even the little corner store where I would go get a burger or something, the menu was not in English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it never bothered me though, because I was like, I'm soaking up hip hop history here.
Yeah,
I'm
the culture,
I'm
man.
Bronx, where it began, you know. So,
Yeah,
but
so
I've always been a shock value, because I never looked like I should be doing what I'm doing, even on the turntables back then. A skinny, nerdy looking white boy, country white boy, steps up, plugs in his turntables, and everybody's like, what the world?
that's what I love, man. I love that kind of, that like from like the movie White Man Can't Jump. I like that when they stereotype us, and they think that we that we're not down, or we're not cool enough, or we can't, we don't have it in us to be dope like that. And then when you and to me, that gives it an edge. It's almost like you could play off that and then be like, oh yeah, and just start freaking killing it.
It always worked for me, because I never was the outgoing dude and trying to brag and boast about what I could do and what I'd done. I would just show up and do my thing, and everybody be like, this dude is cool. but I'm more excited now to connect with a real dude that came from that time, because there's not many in this country rap game I can point at. There's a few. They mainly they already in their late 40s, early 50s. Not many of them. Scram came from that era.
Right.
Nine. That's the reason I reached out to them on Fresh MC Round One. Is that I want to holler at some of the old heads, because just to let the young folk know, y'all ain't doing nothing new. We've been there,
And dude, that's why I do love what you're doing with this kind of these volume one type video type things. It feels old school too, like these Fresh MC Round Ones. It feels like the old blend tapes, like the old mixtapes, like how you used to introduce new acts back in the day, and that's kind of like how it started for you. bro. So it's almost like coming full circle. It's like, yo, I learned about hip hop through these blend tapes. Now I'm going to share this shit and I'm going to push it out, new medium, YouTube or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. It is one of those full circle moments for me, because I do a lot of other music that folk never will know about. I mean, from house music to Afrobeat to, you know, R&B. I mean, I do all type of production, but my heart is that to bring back that essence of what hip hop, in my opinion, was in my opinion, hip hop started with the DJ. The DJ had the records, the DJ found those breaks and was running them breaks, and just so happened somebody picked up the mic and started helping the DJ at the party. Therein lies the MC was born. So I think the DJ on the turntables and the MC on the mic is the essence of hip hop.
True, man. All the way from Cool Herc to you know, Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5. Like, it was always the DJ, it was always the star in the early days.
For me, the one that really grabbed my attention was Grand Mixer DST from the Bronx. And so, like, I would try to emulate him when he was the one that scratched the fresh on Rocket, Herbie Hancock, you know. So that was the first scratch I tried to emulate, because I was like, that dude, right? I seen him on Saturday Night Live with Herbie Hancock, and I'm like, that's what I want to be. That right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, to be able to bring that back even more so with what me and Deacon is putting together is gonna be like, just, man, something I wish I never would have stopped doing. That old school digging in the crate, scratching the records, spitting lyrics, not trying to figure out, we gotta do a record like Drake. That's the next move. Nah, I ain't gotta do a record like I don't want to rap like 21 Savage.
Right.
We just gonna, man, have fun, make some dope beats and spit rhymes and show these young folk they ain't doing nothing.
I think it's great. Sometimes it's good to have a break in between, because then you come back stronger, because you remember what you loved about it the most, and you don't burn out from it, or you don't get caught up in trends, like you said, like, you know, trying to sound like Drake or whatever, or get the new stuff, that whole new style of hip hop, you know. But I like I said, man, you guys are definitely bringing back that old hip hop, man. I love the beats, especially, you know, like the beat you dropped on that Fresh MC round one is freaking dope. And it's just like, you just want to start, boom, you just get into it and into the groove. You kick it off real hard, man. And it's, I just love, you got your kind of like, is that like you're saying that, oh no, what, dude, that's freaking awesome, bro.
Oh no, yeah, it be pow pow.
Yeah, I did it as a joke, really, when I first did it on one of the records, and it was just like, that was the thing people remembered. Oh no, it's Paul. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to come up with the corniest sounding beat tag, and if I can sell a beat with this corny sounding beat tag, then they must like the beat.
I think it works too. Like, you know, if people are tuning in and seeing you and your whole vibe of this pop fresh, and then, you know, you got the, oh no, it works. It's kind of like out here, you got a lot of guys, you know, how you doing? Like, that's their catchphrases and stuff like that. So you play off of who you are, where you're from, and all that. And I think it works, and it's catchy. I like it. And yeah, man. Dude, I'm sorry. I can't wait to hear what you and Deacon got cooking, man.
I can't wait. I can't wait to. I want to get this first one mixed, and then we gotta come up with when we want to drop. I want to drop it like now.
Yeah.
It's real. It ain't but like 2.5 minute long. It's just like the essence of what a DJ and a beat maker and an MC is, which Deacon is y'all they will find out soon that Deacon is a digging in the crates producer. He played me some beats, and they not ready for what we about to bring. I'm telling you.
Bought it like you never in your life, you really didn't heard of all now. Pow, pow, speaking the lyrical murder down here, around here, M-Town representing. Bound to Tennessee, and you know we about to hit them, cut them all like a chainsaw massacre. Hacking the lanes when they're stepping through the flame, lane chain. Hit them with the bird and it becomes so deep. All now, pow, pow, about to put them all to sleep.
Papa Fresh, thanks so much, man, for doing this. This was awesome talking to you. Tell everybody where they could find you, follow you, see your videos, all that good stuff.
I got a YouTube channel that I just started, Paw Fresh, P-A-P-A Fresh. I just joined Instagram probably about a year ago. Paw Fresh Trick. You'll catch me on Instagram. You know, I'm trying to figure it out. I was anti-social media. I had nothing but an email for years and years and years, but I realized that to connect with people all over the world, you got to be out there to a certain degree, you know. So
right on.
That's it, really. You can always DM me on Instagram, probably the quickest way, or email me the old school way. pawpawfreshtrick@gmail.com, and that's really it right there.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thanks again, everybody. Check him out. This guy rocks. I'm telling you. I'm going to put a lot of your videos and your music throughout this interview, so they'll be hearing your stuff as we go along. But
Yes,
awesome stuff, man. Pop off fresh, everybody.